Hello and welcome back to Healed Enough. I am so glad you're here. It's been a couple of weeks, so I have so much to talk about in the videos to come. But today, I just need to talk about self-sabotage. And I get it, nobody wants to feel like they are working against themselves. But if we take a look at some of our behaviors and patterns, they may indicate that we are indeed self-sabotaging. If you are participating in self sabotaging behavior, it might look like impeding your own progress, destroying bonds with people that have been good to you, aka burning bridges, being your own opposition, slowing down your own momentum, delaying the goals that you set. And this is where it can get a little tricky because when you self sabotage, you could do it intentionally or unintentionally. Now, this is a podcast where we break bad habits, destructive patterns, and we stop behaviors that aren't helpful to the call of God on our lives through faith, intentionality, and the media we consume. And speaking of media, my mentor put me on with this book. It's called The Mountain Is You by Brianna Wiest or Weist. And yeah, I've read it a couple of times and it's more than thought provoking. It's life changing. If you are intentional, it will change your life. If you are accountable, it will change your life. If you're accountable to God, the people around you that hold you to righteous standards and the goals that you said you wanted to meet, this book will change your life. Even the subtitle goes hard. It says, Transforming Self Sabotage into Self Mastery. But you really got to put in that work and you really have to be intentional. Listen to this excerpt from the book. Now that you have begun to identify your self sabotaging behaviors, you can use them to uncover deeper and more important truths about who you are as a person and what you really want and need out of life. This is an important part of the process because overcoming self defeating habits is not just about knowing what they are or why we engage in them, it is also about understanding what our inherent needs are, what we really desire, and how we can use this as a pivot point to begin building a life that is aligned with who we really are and what we're really here to do. It's real good. That chapter is just talking about what triggers self sabotage. I mean, it's a really good book because it talks about this emotional part of us, the mental part of us that's like holding us back. Because if you think about it, nothing physical is in our way. Most times it is something emotional, it's a mental block. The mountain is us, the problem is us. The biggest obstacle is us. The number one thing that's holding us back is us. So forget the song of the week. The book of the week is The Mountain Is You, and the author's name is Brianna Wiest. I think that's how you pronounce it. But look, I don't know your story, and I don't know why you self-sabotage, but it's important for you to know why you self-sabotage. So you can end this cycle and move forward, being and doing everything that God has called you to do and be. The Bible says that we perish from a lack of knowledge. So it's good for us to know so we won't perish. So we can stop destroying ourselves, our progress, our momentum. So once we get this knowledge, we got to apply it. Now, this podcast talks about overcoming fear, procrastination, perfectionism. Fear can make you self sabotage. Procrastination is the behavior of someone who is sabotaging themselves. Perfectionism is a mindset of someone who is sabotaging themselves. All these actions or inactions hinder progress. And I think everybody has experienced in some moment where they sabotage their next move or they fumbled an opportunity or a person. I know I have. I have sabotaged my own goals, but I stopped and I decided that, listen, if I have a goal of losing 30 pounds, then 15 pounds in, I can't be like, oh, I want a cheeseburger and fries, and then start eating cheeseburgers and fries. That is going to hinder my progress. It's going to sabotage my hard work. But forget about a weight loss journey. People be sabotaging the journey of life. They sabotage relationships. You got to stop pushing away your friends. Stop pushing away people who are sent to help you along your path, along your journey. Now, I get it. Everybody is grown, but how mature are you if you messing up relationships with good people? People sabotage their jobs. They get a raise and then they start calling out more. So now they check look the same. And we can keep going. Like, because Adam and Eve, they were like the first people that self-sabotage. They started this. They started this. God set them up for greatness. Put them in the garden where they had everything they needed. Wouldn't have to work. He said, don't eat from this one tree. And they did. And they got kicked out. Yeah, they had somebody in their ear. But sometimes we don't even need another person in our ear. We are in our ear. We are the problem. We don't need to sabotage ourselves. We need to be for ourselves. So whether you are sabotaging yourself intentionally or unintentionally, I mean, it's a real hard thing to come to grips with you doing it on purpose. That's a little wild. But when you do observe, like, hey, I'm slipping into that pattern again, that's when you gotta stop. Really get this book. The Mountain is You. It's a good book. Go and read that. Until next time, let's not sabotage ourselves.